Hi, you guys. My name is Faye, and I need a vacation, and I think you do too. So let's distract ourselves with some reality TV nonsense. Today, we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Orange County, and we're going to be reviewing only one episode this time. And I promise you, it's going to be a quick little recap. But yeah, this is season 19, episode 8. We're not going to go scene by scene. I'm just going to talk about what I want to talk about. And let's get into it. Before I start, I do have to say that this episode was just the worst. Like, it was awful. Honestly, I was having a hard time watching it. Like, I was so annoyed with almost everyone, basically everyone except Katie. And actually, Tamra didn't bother me too much this episode, but like, everyone was annoying. All of them are liars. All of them are hypocrites, and honestly, one of the worst things you can be to me is a hypocrite. I cannot stand a hypocrite, and that's all they are. They're all liars. They all talk to bloggers. They all gossip about each other. They all leak stories, and it is just so, I don't even have the words anymore. I don't want to keep saying annoying, but like, I was starting to feel myself like physically getting upset. My stomach was like in knots from watching this crap. Like, honestly, if I had not begun reviewing the show already, I would probably stop watching this season because it's disgusting. The way these ladies are behaving is just gross. So much from a little pre-rant. Now let's get into it. First scene of the episode, Shannon is having breakfast with her daddy, or lunch or whatever it is. He's, it's his birthday. He's turning 96, I believe. Happy birthday, Mr. Gene the Machine. Now let's get into the meat of it all. Gretchen and Gina meet up with Kiki Monique. The blogger we have heard so much about is now officially a part of the show. I don't know why. I just think when Housewives shows start putting bloggers and journalists on the show, like, we've gone wrong. Something is off. This is supposed to be a housewives show. It's supposed to be about affluent women who are living their lives and letting us peek behind the curtain. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be this meta fest where we have bloggers and journalists and podcasters. Like, no. But anyway, they talk and clear up the big, the arc of this season, really. Did Katie tell Kiki Monique that Gretchen told her that she was drugged by Tamra and had to go to the hospital? Short answer is Kiki says yes. She insists that she's only coming on the show to clear her name. Like I said, she confirms that Katie told her that. She also throws in there that Katie shared with her an instance where apparently the backstory to this is that Katie had said that she wanted to represent Asian designers on the show. I guess Gina had come up to her, looked at her outfit, and asked her,
"Is that Asian?"
And it, the way Kiki Monique described it was that the tone of the question was racist, and that's how Katie felt. Gina, of course, is mad about that, but that'll come up later again. And that's when I'll also give my 2 cents. Oh yeah, the scene ends with Gretchen crying very dramatically, I have to add. Like, girl, what are you crying about? And the way this whole conversation went, honestly, I really am starting to believe Katie. I do not think that Gretchen was crying because Katie had lied on her and made up the story. I think that Gretchen was crying because Katie told her business. She's crying because she shared this story, true or not, exaggerated or not, embellished or not, with her friend or supposed friend, and that friend went and ran and gossiped with a blogger. I think that's why she's crying, because it is a violation, no doubt, but it's just not coming across to me that Gretchen never said anything like that. So stop crying, girl. Also, her outfit and her confessional is just so bad. That confessional look has to be up there as one of the worst confessional looks in Housewives history. When I tell you, I don't know if that's her hair, if it's a wig. If it's a wig, it needs to be burned. The ashes need to be spread over the sea. I don't know like what to tell you. The headband, the like everything, like the headband she had, the doll outfit, like it's oh god, it's so bad. It's so bad. Anyway, I'm getting off track here, sorry. The main event of the episode is Emily's party. She's pretending to care about Persian New Year, but we both know she does not care. And neither does Shane, apparently, who's half Persian. But really, this entire event is a scheme that Todd set up to come to Katie with the BS. All has been orchestrated to expose and shame and degrade Katie. Basically, Gina and Emily had cooked up this scheme, and this entire party is basically them doing polygraphs. So the ladies are asked in the beginning to come up with questions that they want to know about the other ladies, and it's going to be anonymous. Then what happens is that Emily shocks everyone, and they don't really look shocked, honestly, but yeah, Emily shocks everyone by announcing that they're all going to do lie detector tests. I have to add, even before this, Katie was extremely anxious, like before it was announced, because she immediately felt the vibes were off when her friend, like one of her only two friends, Gretchen, came in. She treated Katie like just dirt. She was like visibly like fighting to be somewhat civil and cordial, and Katie was feeling every bit of that. So Katie was already off. She even had to go to the bathroom to throw up. So she was already doing pretty bad, and then that was announced. Oh, I do have to say, Tamra was invited to this party. I don't know why. And it's so, when I tell you, it's so embarrassing. Tamra shows up, Emily lets her in. Obviously, she's the hostess, and immediately apologizes to her for not being there. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I should have been there for you. I should have reached out. But my child, Luke, you know, so much going on. He's an autist. He has eating disorders, like everything. And it's like, she's like justifying herself to Tamra. I do not know what hold Tamra has over these ladies. If it's all because she's, you know, a veteran housewife and they're all afraid of losing their jobs, or if it's because she's so nasty and evil and they're afraid of what she's going to do to them. But it was so pitiful. I was cringing. Like, I had secondhand embarrassment for Emily. So they do the lie detector tests, and I just want to go over the results with you guys, the ones that I found noteworthy. Emily believes that she is a better lawyer than Shane, and the lie detector test. Oh, I'm gonna give you my opinion about lie detector tests in general after we discuss, you know, the scene. But the lie detector tests confirms what Emily actually believes, that she's a better lawyer than her husband. I think that's weird. I think maybe that might have been true at some time, but she doesn't even practice law anymore, and she hasn't practiced law in a very, very long time. Like, we're talking years and years and years. She's an event planner, so I don't know, like, I don't know if she's still a better lawyer than Shane. But then again, Shane had to take the California bar many times to pass, so maybe she is a better lawyer. Emily also stated that she does not talk badly about Heather in front of her children, and the lie detector test confirms this to be the truth. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I mean, everyone talks freely in their home. That's the place where you have kitchen table talk, where you gossip and say your true feelings and thoughts. And I just don't believe that she's walking around, you know, whispering or locking herself away to speak in her own home. Like, I'm not saying she sets it up to where she's directly speaking about people badly in front of her children, but I don't believe that there's never been an instance where they've overheard things. And even if it only means that they, you know, snuck to eavesdrop, because that's what children do, if we're honest. So I don't believe that. Tamra told the lie detector lady that she was indeed told by her therapist to be on the spectrum. That is outed as a lie. I mean, I think that is a lie. We saw it on camera. The therapist literally told her that they had talked about whether or not autism could play a role, and that she really can't say until she's been through testing. So Tamra, I don't know if like listening comprehension skills are off, but the therapist did not say that you're on the spectrum, that you have autism, nothing. She said you'd have to be tested. So open up those ears. Heather told the people that she would rather be a housewife of Beverly Hills. I think we all know that. I don't think that was a question worth answering. She keeps insisting that it's because, and no one really cares, like they're not really questioning her on that, but she keeps like almost screaming and saying that it's because of the commute because she doesn't live in Orange County. Pause. Why don't the housewives live where they're filming? Like it's the housewives of Orange County, not Beverly Hills. Like why? Like that's strange. I don't know. Also, yeah, she wants to swim with the big fish, so whatever. But honestly, they're all supposed to be rich and wealthy, so I don't know. And what does that say when Tamra, who's one of the ladies, just says like, oh, she doesn't want, to be here with us brokies, basically. Whatever. Heather also claimed that she did not call the paparazzi on her and Terry. The lie detector test says that this was false and that she did in fact call the paparazzi, and her response is to say she's already sworn on her children's lives. I don't care. This was last season. Let's move on. Then we get to the main course, shall we say. Gretchen's results are revealed. According to the results of the lie detector test, Gretchen did not tell Katie and Jen and the husbands that she was drugged and had to go to the hospital. And Gretchen did not go to the hospital. That's what the results reveal. Shannon and Tamra call it out though, and they both recall the fact that Gretchen actually sat in the car and told them that she did go to the hospital the next day. Tamra had me cracking up. She's like Googling how people can pass a lie detector test when they're lying. And she's like,
oh, it says it right here. She's a known liar.
And yes, I do have to say, after having this on camera and her behavior, she is a known liar, to me at least. What I did notice this episode was that the lie detector lady, like she was doing way too much. Like she was commenting on everything. She was being very biased and very unprofessional. After she revealed the results of Gretchen's test, she made sure to say,
oh, your entire test was so truthful. You passed everything. You're so honest.
Like, honestly, lady. And then when it's time for Katie's results, she's like,
are we ready for Katie's results?
Like she almost has a bad taste in her mouth about Katie. Lady, you do not even know Katie at all. Like it is so clear to me that this lady and the entire team have been paid off and that their one goal for this event is just to drag Katie. Katie's results are basically that Katie did in fact tell Kiki that Gretchen told her that she was drugged and had to go to the hospital, and also that Katie did in fact play the recording of Shannon for Alexis, and also the lie detector test revealed, and I use that word very loosely, that Gretchen did not tell Katie that she was drugged and had to go to the hospital. And the nerve of this lie detector woman, she's like,
you did the worst out of everybody.
Like I said, she's so unprofessional. And let's talk about the bangs. What are those? Is it a wig? Is it your real hair? Like I said about Gretchen, if that is a wig, it needs to be burned, scattered across the ocean, because that, like the bangs had to weigh like 20 pounds. It's a lot. And she had the nerve with her and her bangs to sit there and degrade Katie. I don't know where she gets that from. The audacity. Oh yeah, and she also adds,
you failed the questions about Gretchen very badly.
Like I said, this is a scheme that TODD set up. The entire goal is to make Katie look bad. Like the fact that she keeps insisting on how terribly Katie allegedly did at this test, it just screams fraudulent to me. She's a scammer. They're scammers, allegedly, in my opinion. Obviously, after these results are revealed, the ladies start arguing, and Katie keeps insisting that she did tell the truth and that Gretchen did tell her and the others this, and that she did not tell. Oh, actually, no, she does not deny that she told Kiki Monique the story, but she does stand firm on the fact that Gretchen told them all this story. She even keeps looking to Jen to back her up and to, tell the truth. But Jen is like, she's not jumping in here. Like, she just screams at Katie,
why are you looking at me?
Honestly, Jen is coming off as a liar too, in my opinion. She was there, and Gretchen probably did say that or something resembling that. and she just wants to stay out of it. And probably she's gotten by now that Katie does not have any standing in the group, and she's trying to, bet on the right horse, if I may say, and, stick with Gretchen. Well, anyway, they're arguing, and then Emily jumps in. She's not even part of the conversation, but this lady wants a moment so badly. She screams over everyone,
"You did so poorly. You answered everything wrong. You have no credibility."
Like, it's so embarrassing. And she was laughing almost. She was elated. She was gleeful. Like, she was so happy to cause a scene, to make a moment, and to yell at this poor lady. It was a lot. It was so, like, when I tell you, everything Emily does feels so forced. It's so cringy, and it's mostly just embarrassing and lame. It's terrible. Like, she is so thirsty. Then Gina starts whacking Katie about what Kiki Monique told her about, Gina questioning whether Katie's design choices were Asian. She starts screaming at Katie, who's already getting it from all sides. And I felt really bad for Katie. And while I do understand Gina's point that, yes, you should have addressed it with her rather than talking to any outsider, whether it's press or anyone else, but I do have to say I find it quite sad. She's more upset about the fact that she was called out for microaggressions and for racial undertones than the fact that she did microaggressions and that her behavior and speech did hold racial undertones. It's really sad, but unfortunately that's how it is. Like, when you're a minority and you're in mostly white spaces, and then you actually do have the courage to speak up for yourself and call out something that, was inappropriate or microaggressive or had racial undertones or is straight up racist, it's never an apology. It's never self-reflection. It's never, I was wrong. There's never an admission of guilt. It's always like, how dare you say this about me? How dare you claim I did this or that, or I'm this or that? And then you end up arguing, not even about the behavior or the words. You end up defending yourself for speaking out. Like I said, it's just really sad. That's what happened with Gina and Katie. Katie's now the bad guy for calling out Gina's behavior. And Gina's never even questioning or wondering, was what I did wrong? Should I not have said that? And let's talk about it. How dare you police how Asian Katie's outfits are? Like, who are you? Like, what is wrong with you, lady? How dare you use something that has such pure intentions that, Katie was really trying to share her culture? How dare you use that to make something negative and to drag her, basically? And her defense was, oh, I was pissed at this girl. Well, that doesn't give you the right to critique her Asianness or her, to police how Asian she's being or how much of her culture she's sharing. And what's funny is that these two effing designers, as Gina called them, actually spoke out on TikTok, I believe, and shared. And they did like a montage of like many of Katie's outfits, and they shared that most of them were actually by Asian designers. Like, just because it says, whatever the label is, doesn't mean there's not an Asian designer as the head designer of that fashion house. And it just made Gina look even more stupid than she already looks. And they also threw in there that Gina did call them and that she should call them again. I think she should, but I don't know if she can afford you guys. Anyway, as Katie's getting bombarded left, right, front, and center, Emily decides to kick her out, which is probably what she had planned to do the entire time. But yeah, she kicks her out. Katie immediately gets up and leaves, and she's standing outside of the house talking to production, and she's like crying and insisting on the fact that she was telling the truth. And Gretchen did tell her that she didn't make it up. And I feel so bad for her. Like, this entire thing was a setup. Like, the gang up is insane. Like, even if Katie were lying about all this stuff, I don't know why they thought that would be a good look and why they thought that the viewers would side with them, like, over Katie. Like, it just gives bullying, and it's just gross. And then throw in there that, she's the only woman of color, and I think she's the first Asian housewife on this franchise, and it's just disgusting. Anyway, Katie does say that that's the last time we might see her with this group. Unfortunately, I think that may be true. I don't know. I mean, the fans are really going hard for her on social media, so maybe Bravo will bring her back for the next season. But so far, she's been alone and not coupled up on all of the after shows. And apparently she was put on pause then. I don't know. Did she put herself on pause? Did the woman successfully ice her out and refuse to film with her? Or did Bravo put her on pause? Because if Bravo production, whoever put her on pause, I think that would be so disgusting. Like, how is the victim of bullying of a gang up put on pause? And like I said, even if she did do all of these things, she didn't kill anyone. She didn't do anything unforgivable. She didn't even do anything that was novel in any way. All of the housewives across all the franchise talked to bloggers and gossip and leak stories and spill tea. And also, like, we have had housewives do so much worse, like so much worse, even on OC. And if these people haven't been put on pause, then why should Katie? But I don't know what the truth is about that. Remember, I said in the beginning that I'd share my thoughts about the whole lie detector thing. So I'm not buying any of it. I know for a fact that lie detector exams are not admissible in court. They are not reliable. To me, the whole thing, like I said, just felt fraudulent. There are so many things that could influence or impact the results of a lie detector exam. Katie immediately said, like, she was anxious before. When she went in the room with the lady, she immediately said that she's so anxious and her heart is already racing. And the lady actually told her that the test won't work if she's so anxious. The lady said that herself, yet she proceeds, like, if she were a true professional, she would have sent Katie away and said, ma'am, just try to calm yourself, collect yourself, gather your thoughts, and we'll try later, because in this agitated state you're in, the results are not going to be, reliable at all. But she didn't. She proceeded to take the test and then shame and degrade Katie in front of everybody. And it's so disgusting to me. Like I said, in general, I do not give an F about lie detector tests results. Also, even if you do care and even if you do feel like they have some merit or whatever, Katie was not in the state or in the headspace to actually be administered one, so her results don't matter at all. Like, some of the ladies insist that they were telling the truth. I mean, Tamara's a bad example because she was lying, but Heather said that she didn't call the paparazzi and what have you. Like, I think lie detector exams could be helpful as like a starting point to something if they're administered by actual certified professionals and used in the right context, and if the person is in the right frame of mind. But I don't think they should ever be seen as definitive, And that brings me to the next thing. This person who conducted the lie detector test, his name is John Grogan, and it says on his website, he himself says this, that he is the most televised lie detector person. Like, he's done lie detector tests like for all the reality TV shows. I looked at his website. Honestly, it looked unprofessional to me, just cheap, like just looked like Windows 95 to me. Whatever, that's neither here or there. But this person has been accused of scamming and of being fraudulent for a very, very long time. If you type in his name into Google with lie detector test, it just comes up like fraud, scammer, everything. And basically the allegations are that he just does this for TV, that the results are already predetermined, and that you can pay him to give you that result you want, allegedly. I don't know if that's true. I honestly would not be shocked to find out that that is true. But what I do know is that there's some serious doubt about his qualifications. So I pulled up an article written by OK Magazine. This was published on August the 28th, 2025. And it says John Grogan allegedly has no formal polygraph training. I'm just going to read like some highlights. So it says in 2004, Grogan received an honorary polygraph training certificate from the American College of Forensic Studies. So he has an honorary certificate. ACFC owner Joseph Joseph P. allegedly said in a letter that the certificate was not intended to qualify recipients as polygraph examiners. That's interesting. The report goes on to note Grogan doesn't have any formal polygraph training that reputable organizations recognize, and was allegedly denied membership to the Global Polygraph Network in 2005 due to not having adequate documentation to show accredited training. The intel also revealed he claims he graduated from the American Academy of Forensic Sciences, which they say is a non-existent entity as a training facility. So, ladies and gentlemen, take that for what you will. Personally, this man has no credibility to me at all. I think it's a shame that the ladies didn't do any sort of research. Well, actually, they probably did, and that's why they hired him, because they wanted to use this man in this polygraph to oust Katie from the group completely and to successfully ice her out. And, they achieved their goal, it happened. But I think the ladies should be so ashamed of themselves using this alleged scammer to do this to another woman. It's just gross, especially over something so silly. In the end, personally, I believe Katie. I do believe that she's lying about not telling Kiki Monique. I 100% believe that she did tell her that, because she seems to mistake bloggers for friends, because she, has loose lips and she just likes to gossip, I believe, but she doesn't really want to stand on it when she does get called out. So I do think she's lying about that. However, I firmly believe that Gretchen did tell her the story or something very close to it. I think Gretchen is lying when she claims that she didn't tell Katie and the rest this. I believe Gretchen is lying when she says that she didn't go to the hospital, because we have it on camera. I believe that Jen is lying when she says that Gretchen never said this. So I think they're all lying. And I have to say, the most likable person right now, besides Katie, is literally Tamra, because at least Tamra is focused on the fact that Gretchen is an experienced liar. And I like, even as hard as I've been going on Shannon, she didn't really, lay into Katie as much. And she was also focused on the fact that Gretchen lied. It's disgusting. I do have to say though, that Tamra is such an opportunist. Like, this entire season, she's been coming after Katie and using her as like a pawn and to better her standing in and with the group. But now that she sees all the fan reactions and that we actually ride for Katie, she's like best friends with Katie now. I hope Katie knows what she's doing. But anyway, that was it from me. This should have been a way shorter video. I hope so for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys on our next vacation. Until then, have a great day. Bye.